Humans have used mussels as food for thousands of years. Freshwater mussels are nowadays generally considered unpalatable and are almost entirely not consumed, although the native peoples of North America ate them extensively and still do today. In the United States during the Second World War, mussels were commonly served in diners and eateries across the country. This was due to the lack of access to red meat for the general public, in relation to the aspect of the American wartime rationing policy concerning food, with much of the meat available being sent to aid the U.S. military's war efforts abroad. Instead, mussels became a popular substitute for most meats. In Belgium, the Netherlands, and France, mussels are consumed with French fries or bread. In Belgium, mussels are sometimes served with fresh herbs and flavorful vegetables in a stock of butter and white wine. Fries and Belgian beer sometimes are accompaniments. A similar style of preparation is commonly found in the Rhineland, where mussels are customarily served in restaurants with a side of dark bread in months containing an R, that is between September and April. In the Netherlands, mussels are sometimes served fried in batter or breadcrumbs, particularly at takeout food outlets or informal settings. In France, the éclate des moules, or, locally, terre de moules, is a mussel bake that can be found along the beaches of the Bay of Biscay. In Italy, mussels are mixed with other seafood. They are most commonly eaten steamed, sometimes with white wine, herbs, and served with the remaining water and some lemon. In Spain, they are consumed mostly steamed, sometimes boiling white wine, onion and herbs, and served with the remaining water and some lemon. They can also be eaten as tigres, a sort of croquette using the mussel meat, shrimps and other pieces of fish in a thick bechamel, then breaded and fried in the clean mussel shell. They are used in other sort of dishes such as rices or soups, or commonly eaten canned in a pickling brine made of oil, vinegar, peppercorns, bay leaves and paprika. In Turkey, mussels are either covered with flour and fried on skewers, or filled with rice and served cold, and are usually consumed after alcohol. They are used in Ireland boiled and seasoned with vinegar, with the bray, or boiling water, as a supplementary hot drink. In Cantonese cuisine, mussels are cooked in a broth of garlic and fermented black bean. In New Zealand, they are served in a chili or garlic-based vinaigrette, processed into fritters and fried, or used as the base for a chowder. In Brazil, it is common to see mussels being cooked and served with olive oil, usually accompanied by onion, garlic and other herbs. The plate is very popular among tourists and low classes, probably because of the hot climate that favors mussels' reproduction. In India, mussels are popular in Kerala, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Bhatkal, and Goa. They are either prepared with drumsticks, breadfruit or other vegetables, or filled with rice and coconut paste with spices and served hot. Fried mussels of North Kerala, especially in Thalassery, are a spicy, favored delicacy. In coastal Karnataka, Biris prepare special rice ball stuffed with spicy fried mussels and steamed, locally known as pachiled pindi. Mussels can be smoked, boiled, steamed, roasted, barbecued, or fried in butter or vegetable oil. As with all shellfish, except shrimp, mussels should be checked to ensure they are still alive just before they are cooked. Enzymes quickly break down the meat and make them unpalatable or poisonous after dying or uncooked. Some mussels might contain toxins. A simple criterion is that live mussels, when in the air, will shut tightly when disturbed. Open, unresponsive mussels are dead, and must be discarded. Unusually heavy, wild-caught, closed mussels may be discarded as they may contain only mud or sand. A thorough rinse in water and removal of the beard is suggested. Mussel shells usually open when cooked, revealing the cooked soft parts. Historically, it has been believed that after cooking all the mussels should have opened, and those that have not are not safe to eat and should be discarded. However, according to marine biologist Nick Rouleau, this advice may have arisen from an old, poorly researched cookbook's advice, which has now become an assumed truism for all shellfish. Rouleau found 11.5% of all mussels failed to open during cooking, but when forced open, 100% were both adequately cooked and safe to eat. Although mussels are valued as food, mussel poisoning due to toxic planktonic organisms can be a danger along some coastlines. For instance, mussels should be avoided during the warmer months along the west coast of the United States. This poisoning is usually due to a bloom of dinoflagellates, which contain toxins. The dinoflagellates and their toxin are harmless to mussels, even when concentrated by the mussel's filter feeding, but the concentrated toxins cause serious illness if the mussels are consumed by humans, including paralytic shellfish poisoning. A person affected in this way after eating mussels is said to be musseled. Mussel is the common name used for members of several families of bivalve mollusks, from saltwater and freshwater habitats. These groups have in common a shell whose outline is elongated and asymmetrical compared with other edible clams, which are often more or less rounded or oval. The word, mussel, is frequently used to mean the bivalves of the marine family Mytillidae, most of which live on exposed shores in the intertidal zone, attached by means of their strong byssal threads to a firm substrate. A few species have colonized hydrothermal vents associated with deep ocean ridges. In most marine mussels the shell is longer than it is wide, being wedge-shaped or asymmetrical. The external color of the shell is often dark blue, blackish, or brown, while the interior is silvery and somewhat nacreous. The common name, mussel, is also used for many freshwater bivalves, including the freshwater pearl mussels. Freshwater mussel species inhabit lakes, ponds, rivers, creeks, canals, and they are classified in a different subclass of bivalves, despite some very superficial similarities in appearance. Freshwater zebra mussels and their relatives in the family Dreissenidae are not related to previously mentioned groups, even though they resemble many Mytilus species in shape, and live attached to rocks and other hard surfaces in a similar manner, using a byssus. They are classified with the Heterodonta, the taxonomic group which includes most of the bivalves commonly referred to as clams. In 2005, China accounted for 40% of the global mussel catch according to a FAO study. Within Europe, where mussels have been cultivated for centuries, Spain remained the industry leader. Aquaculture of mussels in North America began in the 1970s. In the U.S., the Northeast and Northwest have significant mussel aquaculture operations, where Mytilus edulis is most commonly grown. While the mussel industry in the U.S. has increased, in North America, 80% of cultured mussels are produced in Prince Edward Island in Canada. In Washington state, an estimated 2.9 million pounds of mussels were harvested in 2010, valued at roughly $4.3 million. In New Zealand, Perna canaliculus, the New Zealand green-lipped mussel, industry produces over 140,000 metric tons annually and in 2009 was valued in excess of 250 million New Zealand dollars. Byssal threads, used to anchor mussels to substrates, are now recognized as superior bonding agents. A number of studies have investigated mussel glues for industrial and surgical applications. Further, mussel adhesive proteins inspired the design of peptide mimics that were well studied for surface bioengineering of medical implants. Self-assembling mussel-inspired peptides were also shown to form functional nanostructures. Also, a peptide derived from mussel foot protein 5, a key protein in mussel adhesion, displayed antibacterial properties and served as inspiration for the design of a new class of peptide-based antibacterial adhesive hydrogels, which are active against drug-resistant gram-positive bacteria. Additionally, byssal threads have provided insight into the construction of artificial tendons.